Dear Pastor, a year ago we discussed the issue of evil and injustice using the example of the terrible war in Ukraine. Last few weeks, all world news show the events in the US. Yes, so the evil is also here now.
Yes.
So it looks like revelation or something like this. What can you say? What should happen then, or what should we do? There's in order to keep this world safe.
No one is immune from evil. No area, it seems like. We have started witnessing some terrible events here in the United States with our own country tormenting and invading our own cities to remove what they call illegal people, but there's no one illegally here, as maybe they don't have the proper documents. The violence that has been perpetrated on the people is unnecessary because it's not in line with our laws or our Constitution. Their purpose is to create chaos and to create evil. So something that's happened in Minnesota that we are witnessing is how communities, just like we talked about last year, when things happen into places like Ukraine or in Gaza, in moments of crisis, people come together and they create those moments where they are actually neighbors and help each other in those crises. And in Minneapolis, we're seeing that, how they are coming together to help each other. People that are, who may not, they may not know, but they're there to protect their neighbors. They're going and taking food to the people who are afraid to leave their homes, are afraid to go to work. They are out in the streets protesting, blocking traffic. They're doing things to be what we are all called to be as Christians. Love thy neighbor. Love thy neighbor. That is what Jesus' commandment is. And when such things happen anywhere in the world, and as I am continue to encourage us here at this church, whenever we get an opportunity, whether that is when we go to the grocery store or when we are passing by somebody on the street, we have an opportunity to create a special moment with somebody, meaning that we can smile when we see somebody not having a good day. We can create a community garden for people to have vegetables and food in the summertime, in the fall. We are encouraging people to help other people whenever they can, whether that's giving them a ride to a doctor's appointment or when somebody is not having a good day. It really is a matter of doing the small things, to be a neighbor, to be a friend, that really creates community. And one of the examples that I love to share is that when you throw a pebble into a lake or a pond, the pebble will sink to the bottom. But that mark, the ripple effect of that pebble going into the water spreads out. And it goes all the way to the shores, all the way out. And so whatever that one little small thing that we can do, that you can do for somebody, goes a long way in making the world a better place. We can't give up. We can't stop doing the good things because that means they win. They give up. They get us tired, overwhelmed, and that's what they want to do. We can't do that because we must continue to do the good things and be neighbors and create communities of love and kindness and compassion in the midst of chaos, because that's who we are. That's who we are.
As I understand, you believe that non-resistance to evil by violence is right, because it is written, yes, in the Bible and with the main idea of Christian ideology. But now there are two opinions on it. Yes, what is better? Just to go and be peaceful with ICE agents, or just take a gun and shot shot them? What do you think about it, and what can you say?
Nonviolence resistance is an act of love and peace. Violence towards violence equals violence. It leads to more death. If people who are protesting decide to fire upon the ICE agents, it would be a massacre of the protesters, because the ICE agents have so many weapons. And the purpose of the protest is to say, we don't approve of this, and we want you out. My opinion is the administration that is supporting these ICE agents in the cities want us to be violent so that they can not only arrest the protesters, but also become violent towards, as they already are. But we've had about 35 deaths from the protest or arrest, as we've seen the last three with Mr. Petty and Miss Good. We are protesting, saying that we are a people of love, and we believe everybody has rights to freedom and to be free and to live in a place where they have autonomy to make decisions for themselves, to be free to walk to go to work and to make money and to provide for their families and to live without the threats of violence or arrest or intimidation. And the way we do that is to say that we stand beside you. And we also say, by being nonviolent, this is the way of God. This is the way of Jesus. The nonviolent protest is because it is of more dignity and more compassion. I mean, we don't want the ICE agents to be harmed. We don't want anyone to be harmed. We want them out of the cities. We want them to go back to doing the things that the way they were supposed to, the way the laws say, not just to overrun our cities and to behave in lawless ways and to be masked and be reckless. But we also stand on the principle that of what we believe, justice and liberty and the pursuit of happiness for everyone. And that's what we stand on. I think that's what most Americans stand on. And so violence is not the answer.
Why are all the news reports only talking about the death of 2 Americans, while ICE killed more people? Doesn't this contradict the Christian ideology that most Americans adhere? Does racism persist among a significant portion of Americans?
That's a great question. It's true. Many people of color have been killed by ICE, shot, strangled to death, not given proper medication or medical attention. And it wasn't until 2 white people were killed that we became up in arms about ICE killings. That is not unusual for the United States. We tend to become more concerned when it is white folks being killed. And we've been conditioned to that. There is no excuse. We've been conditioned to that. Being conditioned to say, well, people of color are killed all the time. And it's even, we've been conditioned to now even say, well, kids in school are killed often. So we've really become numb to the idea of people just being killed, whether that's killed by mass shootings, by the police, by our neighbors, accidental. We've become numb. And to watch the 2 shootings on TV of Miss Good and Mr. Petty was horrific, but we didn't get to see the other ones. They were not broadcast as those were. Racism has been a long, long history in the United States. And it's something that every so often we try to face, but we end up suppressing it again. We do a little bit of work and then we go on. We've done a little bit and we'll go on. We've tried to work on it and then we move on, as if we've done something and that was enough. I don't have an answer to that. But the blatant racist policies of this administration and the reaction from and the actions of many colleges and organizations and businesses who governments asked that they stop the diversity, equality, and inclusive policies that were not just about people of color having equal access to jobs. It was about women having equal access to jobs, and people of disabilities having equal access to jobs, and LGBTQ people having equal access. And so it's not just people of color, it's all people having access And so they used it as a way of saying, well, you're hiring too many black people, or too many Latinos, or too many women. And so their response was, okay, we'll stop having that program. When they, in the past, were praised for that program. The reason why we needed the DEI programs is because these minority groups were not getting opportunities. We have a long history of racism. We have a long way to go to heal it. And maybe with some of this being bubbled to the top of how hateful and divisive this administration is, that maybe we'll get to that this time and actually do some healing across the aisle with that.
How do you think? Is it true that many Americans support and continue to support Trump's immigration policy to reduce the number of immigrants? So it's not the idea, the Trump's idea, yes, just to reduce immigrants, but people really want it, yes, wanted it, and want now, certainly without killing, yes, Americans and so on, but they want it. So is the immigration issue is a real serious problem here in the US?
My opinion, and I'm not an expert on the immigration issue, but in what I have followed for many years, many years, immigration has been part of our politics, the discussion for so many years. And immigrants have been a political tool for Republicans to use as a marker to rile the base, and to lies about the immigrant communities. And I believe that the majority of Americans want a healthy, a comprehensive, fair immigration policy. And our government have been for president after president after president discussing this. And then they get to a point where they have an agreement, and then somebody doesn't like it, and so then they have to start over again. My understanding is maybe 3 years ago they had a comprehensive immigration policy that both sides, the Democrats and the Republicans, liked, and then they refused to move forward because President Trump didn't want them to go forward. He wanted it to happen when he was in office or whatever. And so this country, as we're seeing, has always relied on immigrants to function, and not just in the lower level markets of things. It's in every aspect, And we are a better nation. We are the nation we are because of our immigrant status. I mean, we're all immigrants, as they say. We're all immigrants, and sure, they are people who come across the border, who are bringing drugs or whatever. But at the same time, the vast majority, 99%, are wonderful people who come to just create a life and to create families and be and contribute to the wonderful aspect of this country, and to sell out the wonderful people who come to just may have a better life, or to escape the brutalities of their country. it's heartbreaking that we do that, because that we label them some other than the divine beloved of God that they are, just so that we can score points politically. This country, as we are finding out, with our loss of our workers for processing food, in our restaurants, in our businesses, in our running our grocery stores and local grocery stores and other things. Immigrants are a part of our communities, ingrained in them. And there's a small amount of people that have been fed lies who believe them, as in a lot of things. Our politicians are feeding these lies so they can stoke fear. And again, with this immigration policy that we're in Minnesota, where there's 120,000 immigrants versus the ICE agents aren't in Texas or Florida, where there are over 2 million, speaks to volumes of how we're picking and choosing what we're worried about. And majority of people are here legally, are with documentations. I believe that the last count that I heard of the 400,000 people that they have stole off the streets out of their home, 14% may have had some kind of record. Not violent, but some kind of record. And so we know that these children that they have in Texas don't have criminal records. So there is no rhyme or reason or justification for what they're doing, except racism, hatred, and to stoke fear of why these people should be in office versus the Democrats. It's just fear-based politics. Majority of Americans do not support these policies. They would like some kind of, as we were moving toward. I think the Obama presidency actually deported more immigrants that were here illegally or past their but it deported more immigrants than any other administration, and they did it without the abuses, without this kind of pain, and so no, majority of Americans do not approve of this, and that's why they're in the streets. While we're in the streets protesting this, because this is un-American, inhumane, and against every moral fabric of who we are.
I want to ask you about churches. Maybe it will be a good advice to immigrants. As I heard, churches have a position to help immigrants, yes, and they can save immigrants in their buildings, and ICE agents can't enter them, yes, because this is a private. So, can we recommend immigrants, legal or illegal, if they see ISIS, can they go to church? Will church help them in this situation?
I can't speak for all churches. I would say that has been as well as schools have been sanctuary places that immigration enforcement was not supposed to step foot in. this administration, this immigration, they are not bound. They are not acting appropriately at this time. However, I would suggest, if you are concerned, are looking for a safe place for your family, or if you're a immigrant status, I would go and ask. I would, or have someone that maybe a friend, to go to different churches in your area and ask them if the church itself is a safe haven for immigrants in case there is a ICE sighting, and if there is something set up for a hotline or a phone number or a system set up for protection. There are many areas right now that have done training for this type of thing. I would suggest that you, if you are concerned about your own safety and going to ask these questions, have a friend to go ask these churches, or different ministers, or different places, are they a safe haven for immigrants? And so you make a list of places and their addresses and their phone numbers, so that you can have a place to go if you are feeling threatened by, if there's ICE agents. That is a good point. There should be, there will be churches that will protect you, even if ICE is not respecting the laws. But I would suggest that you, ahead of time, find those places and mark them, so that you know ahead of time where these places are. Not only churches, but other places also.
I hope to see you again for making video next year. How do you think what will happen?
Oh my gosh.
I'm afraid to ask it, but what do you think? What should be in 1 year? Will be a big war, or maybe the situation will, in your opinion?
I'm going to be honest. It's not going to get better. I can't predict wars. It seems like it's inevitable. Iran is irritated. The United States government is poking a lot of people, meaning that we are antagonizing a lot of people by the things that we're doing. We also know that our government likes a lot of distractions from their terrible decisions, and from the Epstein files. And however, as you and I have talked privately, I am still very hopeful. I am still believing that a new world order is coming. We will have to endure this mess, this chaos, this pain, this grief, this evilness. I don't know how long, but this will go on, because it is just starting. It is just starting. For the United States, other countries have been doing this for a while. This is just starting in the United States, unfortunately. But here's the good news. We have each other. We are creating pockets of community and safety and love, and that's what we're meant to do. And we'll continue to do that. We will continue to do that, and we'll continue to fight and protest and pray and be here for one another as long as we're all here. And so that is my prayer